Inspire and Illuminators. It's me, Jennifer Engel, CEO and founder of Inspire and Illuminate, coming to you today to talk about highest possibility states. What are highest possibility states? Well, they come from lower possibility states. They come from, again, and it could be a range. So it could be being in like a severely depressed state all the way up to being just slightly annoyed and not quite where you want to be. And one of the things that came out when I wrote highest possibility states is this grid or this matrix system, which I talked about last week. So I'll try to put the link to that video in here. This week, what I want to talk about is the tool and habit number 2 and 3 that can be found in highest possibility states that I hope will be released in on Black Friday on November 27th. So one of the things that really helped me from going to a lower possibility state into a higher possibility state is visualization, mindfulness, and meditation. And in some aspects, these are 3 very separate things. And in other aspects, you can use these 3 things in any combination together. These really helped me. When I got done with cancer the second time, I had lost all my hair. I had a lot of anger. I lost everything that made me a woman. And I would get angry at people, and I was experiencing post-traumatic stress when they'd say, well, when are you going to grow your hair out? And it made me angry because I felt like, well, I'm more than my hair, I'm more than my beauty, and then I would like shave it off. So I was in a pretty low possibility state at that time. And these 3 things really, really helped me get to a higher possibility state where obviously now you can see I'm letting my hair grow back. And I barely experience negative states at all anymore. So the first thing is visualization. This is where you're in bed and our brain has different brain waves. And when you are in more of a slower brain wave, your mind is able to slow down, take in information, and put it into your subconscious. Now, it depends on the studies that you listen to. And I don't think anyone can actually determine the exact percentage. But our subconscious is responsible for like 95 to 98% of how we behave as we interact with the world and how we think. And so you really want to get these images when your brain waves are slow and low into your subconscious so that when you are going out into your world, it's on automatic pilot, if you will. So just before you wake up in the morning, for 5 or 10 minutes before you touch your phone or anything else, what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes and I want you to visualize how you want your day to go. Athletes actually use this before they go play a game. Either visualization with their mind, but then they also do it in real life with their phones and things like that, or whatever. They watch the game and they say, oh, this is how I didn't really perform my best, and here's what I could do next time. So when you're visualizing the highest possibility state that you want your day to go into. All right, so you're visualizing that. Now, it might take practice. You might visualize once and say, well, that didn't go how I wanted it to go, so this is a load of crap. Well, like anything, learning to dribble or drive or ride a bike, it takes practice. So at least give it a good 5 to 6 weeks to determine its effectiveness before you decide if it is or isn't a useful tool for you. After visualization, as you're going throughout your day, you might experience some lower possibility states or interactions. What do you do during those times? Well, there's 2 things. Number 1, if you actually have a moment where you can pull off to the side for 5 or 10 minutes, 15, 20, whatever you can afford, you can close your eyes. You're gonna replay that interaction in your mind. And then you're going to say what you didn't like about that interaction. And then you're gonna think about it like you were watching a video on your phone. And then you're gonna hit pause, and then you're gonna hit delete for that interaction. Then you're gonna close your mind and you're gonna pretend you're filming what you wish would have happened in that moment instead. And then you're gonna practice visualizing that 5, 10, 20 times. And then you're gonna go about your day again. Many of us are busy, so if you don't have that 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes to pull off to the side to do that at that moment, option number 2 is just before you go to bed at night, play your whole day in your mind like you're watching a movie or YouTube video. For those that you don't want, you're gonna hit skip or delete, and then you're gonna put in the video or the way that you wished it would have gone instead. And again, you're gonna do this 5 to 10 times or until you fall asleep. What this is doing is you're slowing your mind down, you're putting it back into your subconscious so that when your mind is going faster, then those images are more what you have on autopilot. So visualization is where we're slowing our mind down and we're visualizing what we want our day or what we would have preferred those moments to look like instead. Mindfulness, what is that? That's more like when we're in a theta state, when our mind is, Buddhists call it the monkey mind. We have all these thoughts just bombarding us in our mind all the time. Now, mindfulness is more like sitting back on the side of a road watching the cars go by versus being on a merry-go-round and getting stuck within our thoughts, okay? Now, some people take negative thoughts or other thoughts and they hold on to them like a hot coal, and it might even like end up hurting them. Other people jump in front of their negative thoughts and let it like knock them over. So mindfulness is really practicing to let go of the hot coal, to let the cars go by without any judgment. Sometimes you can do this by being distracted. Other ways you can practice mindfulness is I create playlists on my phone that have only positive music, and so that helps me just focus on the music and the positivity and just keeping yourself busy. Those are 2 techniques that you can use to practice mindfulness. Another one is to flip the script. When you're catching yourself holding on to that hot coal or stepping in front of that negative thought, you can say like, instead of saying, oh, I feel like blah, blah, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something. Like if someone was to say to me, when are you gonna grow your hair out? Instead of me being angry about that, thinking that I'm more than just my beauty, maybe I would flip the script and I would say, they care about me so much, they just want my beauty to return, or something like that. I would just like flip the script, okay? And that's easier said than done. It's probably easier to do it like listening to a music playlist that you create, or to keep yourself distracted. Those are the probably 2 easiest. The third one, flipping the script, that takes a little bit more practice, and it can be a little bit more difficult sometimes, especially if you're having strong emotions in that moment. Visualization, visualizing what we want things to be. Mindfulness, just letting things be without judgment. The last one is meditation. There's a lot of like misperception or information out there about what meditation is, and I'm just going to say it from what I think. To me, a lot of people think meditation is getting really quiet, being within our mind. And that can be one way that meditation is. To me, meditation is any time that we're kind of like either in flow. So I think that you could do a running meditation when your breathing is consistent and you're going, okay? It could even be when you're creating art and you're in that flow, that creative process. It could be when you're cooking. It could be if you're like an auto guy and you really love like fixing cars. It could be if you're a carpenter and you're just, you get the point, or you're a coder and you're just in the flow. You're in that meditative space. The other way that I like to see meditation is just before I go to bed again. In addition to visualizing how my day went and deleting and inserting how I wanted it to go instead, there are a lot of binaural beats on the internet now that are playing for hours. And I just put on my earbuds or my headphones and I let it play. Meditation to me is your body literally tuning up the way that you would tune up an instrument. Our body is 70% or so to 80% water. And if you put sound near water, it vibrates. And it can vibrate, if you listen to a string that's out of tune, it can vibrate not so well. But just like someone can tune a violin or a guitar or a piano, music, vibration can tune the water within our own body. And I found, at least for myself, when I put on those noise canceling headphones, I call it my internal massage and my sound bath. So this is what's nice, because you don't have to do anything. You can let the music tune your body while you're going to sleep. And in fact, between the tuning, the meditation music, and the visualization before I go to bed, now I find that I almost say, this was a really good day. There's nothing I would really change about it. And then now I can be proactive at night and start visualizing how I wanted my next day to go, in addition to waking up the next morning. And then I'm almost like taking the test twice, if you will. I'm really solidifying that image just before I go to bed, as well as when I wake up in the morning. And more often than not, I find at least 80% of my day or more actually ends up going the way that I visualized that it would. There are the rare occasions where the universe might pull you somewhere to kind of help someone else who needs a little bit of something in that moment. But I've also found that if you're willing to do that, the universe almost gives you that time back to complete the things that you need or want to do later. The third tool and habit is making a commitment. A lot of times, people will be in a lower state. They'll learn a habit or a tip or a trick, and they'll only practice it for a day or a week. That's not enough time to make it a habit and to get it into your subconscious. So this is like setting a timer. Now, if you don't want to try all three of these techniques, you could even just choose one. And you have to do it consistently. And again, you're gonna get out as much as you put into it for at least 5 to 6 weeks. So at least, I would say 1.5 to 2 months. And then determine if these tips and tricks and tools are actually working for you or not. I hope that this has helped someone today so that you can use your own techniques to help others and those around you. Because now, more than ever, our world desperately needs it, and it needs you. In addition, join me again next week for some more tools, tips, and tricks on how you can achieve your highest possibility state. Peace and blessings.